Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle.
Hello!
Today is the long-awaited, G'day is Australian.
They do G'day too, there, I think they do.
Okay, anyway, today's the long-awaited general election. So for those of you that don't know, I think you all know, Theresa May called a snap election. And that gives the opportunity for more people to be more pro-Brexit, to get more MPs in there, and to create a stronger uniform front for Brexit moving forward after Article 50 has been triggered. Unfortunately, it also opens the door for that to fly in Theresa May's face and for everything to be flip-flopped. So, and
it's a nail biter
today. It is a nail biter. So,
seriously, nail biting! I have no nails left!
I have been messaging Horatio throughout the day, and I asked him to give me a statement, to which he didn't. And if he's watching, he may get a little bit upset. So I've decided just to read a few of our messages going back and forth. This is completely unscripted.
He's too upset right now. Come on, get that man a pint.
Get the man a pint. First, he starts out with an explicitive. Tories, biggest party, but no majority. Conservatives, 314 seats. And Labour and Lib Dems and SNP also equal 314 seats. I said, so what does that mean? He says, it means it's about to be an absolute cluster, explicitive, for the next couple of years. She's absolutely explicitive it. Pardon my French also means this isn't going to be over until about 6 a.m. or beyond. If the exit poll is right, this could absolutely explicit it. Brexit. Now, I said, okay, calm down, breathe. I said, I don't trust the exit polls. He said, Tories are still the favorite to run a minority government. And he said, I think that there's a lot of very close constituencies, and I think that the Tories might get a couple of seats.
Listen, you guys, think about it this way. The UK, although the population is greater than the state of Ohio, you're about the same size as Ohio.
Exactly.
And so you're doing all these elections. It's like if we had a statewide run election. It would be very, very close down to the dog and the cat voting as well.
Righto. So he says now the SNP, the Scottish National Party.
Wait, where's your accent for that one?
The Scottish National Party. Party. I don't know. It's all party. It's the party. It's the party. Is down a shed load. He did actually say shed load 2, if that's right. I said, my gut says that it's gonna pull through. He says, well, I'm glad that my CIAT qualification is at least underway. Makes getting a visa easier. I said, well, Ohio is a great place to immigrate.
Listen, wait, I have to interject here. I am very disconcerted what is happening in Canada and the UK, our fellow English-speaking countries now. The only ones with the strength and the chutzpah to stand up are the Australians. They won't stand for this stuff, you guys. But I have to tell you, what I'm hearing coming out of the UK, what I'm hearing coming out of Canada, freedom of speech is very disconcerting.
It is very
ISIS members waving flags, beheading, killing, raping, throwing acid in people's faces.
Barry had told me today, Mr. Big Torp, that he's like, listen, the ISIS flag is completely illegal, and yet they still are allowed to fly it.
It's the Conservatives, you people in the UK, put more people under watch for crying, reading the Quran from the position of actually reading the Quran than from the people. You know what I mean?
No, not really, but I'm going to keep reading. Alright, so he says that the thoughts at the minute is that if the exit polls are correct, there could be another election, UKIP could be huge, and Farage back as a leader. Surely has to be if that is the case. And I said,
can they
now
just keep having elections over and over when they don't like the results?
I said, I like that. Now,
that sounds undemocratic.
Why would there be another election? How does that work? He said, because it's effectively a hung parliament, no one could get anything passed because they'd be voting issue by issue, and it's unlikely either the Tories or Labour could get any legislation passed that wasn't unanimous.
Oh, it's much like the Netherlands.
Right. So for Horatio specifically, he said it'll hardly matter because his constituency would revert to being Tory versus Labour, and UKIP splitting the Tory vote, letting Labour back in. He says, however you see it, Theresa May has totally and utterly explicited by chasing the Labour left.
Yeah.
She's abandoned the core Tory voters in order to pick up Labour voters and has ended up losing her core, and the floaters are thinking, I might as well vote for the real thing. And I thought that really kind of hit the nail on the head. That explains it very well.
Are they going to get some seats?
Unfortunately, Theresa May thought to herself, she kind of got a little bit greedy by calling the snap election. I want to get more Labour votes. Well, in doing that, she had to kind of water down the Conservative message in order to bring those people in, which the floaters are then kind of like, well, wait a minute. Yeah. I'm just going to go vote for the real deal. Now, this is where we get into the meat of it. As our conversation kept going, what is cool, and we're going to bring this to you from Daily Mail, is that the exit polls were predicting one thing, and then when the actual real polls have come in, they are far different from that. So it might not be quite as bad as they thought.
And it's actually very exciting because all the mainstream media, the BBC, CNN, they were just screaming victory over and over again, and it may not be that.
He says the exit polls are totally out for the first results. The pollsters on the BBC and Sky are now hedging their bets from an hour ago.
Oops.
He says, maybe I was wrong on my last video saying UKIP might be important in 2022, might be later this year. How important UKIP will be. He says, I want to...
Glim of hope for Tories. First real results contradict stunning joint TV exit poll of 30,000 people suggesting the PM's election has backfired and Britain is on course for a hung parliament. So, they're saying that, that the first polls are false. That's what you're reading behind my head.
Yes, exactly. One thing that I did not know is he said the thing is that New Labour added a big suspicious thing into vote counts by saying constituencies didn't have to count until the morning after. It's a huge window for vote rigging. Either way, full results don't come in until late tomorrow. He said that's one of the ways that they tried to rig things by extending postal voting to anyone who wanted to, i.e. Pakistani households who would give all their votes to the one man of the house, invariably going to Labour, and give opportunity to constituencies to find late votes if it was close enough to say. He says, I have to say, after the first two results, it's not as bad as I was fearing, but Theresa May is done for either way. And he says there's already an investigation underway from yesterday that the unions have been opening postal votes and getting in resources to try and get Labour voters out to help. I said, really? He said, yes, it only picked up because they put a message out on Twitter saying, polling not looking good, get people out. Now, how do you know that unless you're opening the votes? So I think that kind of wraps up as far as what Horatio wanted to say. Oh, and he says, it's class from the BBC pollsters. If this carries on, we can expect a swing to the Conservatives, and they are still letting pollsters on their shows during the elections. Meaning, you really can't trust these exit polls, essentially. You have to just wait until the real deal is in. They do this just to give you a heart attack.
So, the forecast suggested a catastrophic loss of seats for the Conservatives that would leave Mrs. May teetering on the brink of being booted out of power. The Tories were said to be on track to lose 16 seats, leaving them on 314 seats and well short of a majority, while Labour was up from 232 to 226. But
266.
Yes, thank you very much, dyslexia there. But when the real results started to flow in, they sparked the extraordinary sight of two polling experts saying that the Tories could defy the forecast and end up with a majority of up to 100. Former YouGov chief Peter Kellner suggested if the early outcomes showing swings to the Tories were replicated across the country, the party could actually romp home. Professor John Curtis, who ran the exit poll, admitted it was possible the Tories could have a 30-seat majority. No, stop that. The BBC presenter David Dimbleby, you know what? That very much reminds me of Harry Potter.
You do kind of seem
confessed. We'll all be hung, drawn, and quartered if this is wrong.
I sure hope so.
High turnout and unprecedented localized shifts in voter allegiance could have undermined the basis of the model. If the exit poll findings are eventually borne out, it will mean Jeremy Corbyn has spectacularly proved the pundits and opinion polls wrong, and it could plunge the country into total chaos, leaving us effectively rudderless, not us, you, sorry, with barely a week to go until critical Brexit negotiations are due to start. Now, I would like to give you all hope, because we have a tremendous amount of good, solid British viewership.
Yes.
And where there are good people, there is always hope.
Absolutely.
And so I really believe you guys made a turn with Brexit. And things are going to turn and things are going to change. And you know what we should do while we're doing this? Because this is live results. Things are coming in, I'm sure, while we're even talking. So let's go see what our good man Nigel Farage is tweeting about right now. Okay. He says 48 minutes ago he was live. Whatever the result, the Conservative Party needs a leader that believes in Brexit.
Absolutely.
So,
okay.
Let's see. The poll
that was 10 hours ago.
Yeah, so
he's
that
if
says
he's going live, then he's not tweeting things.
That's true too. And so
you can probably
also
go click on that and see if he's live.
I should. But I wanted Zero Hedge is a really great place to get news, and for me, they're really balanced. Anyways, they had some live news here. Interesting point. Turnout was extremely high. 63%, almost 10% higher than last time. This should favor Labour nationwide, unfortunately. Newcastle upon Tyne Central is the first to declare its results and has an expected Labour held, but critically shows a big swing to both Tories and Labour, the latter more. Okay, so these
what it means is that the Tories were not supposed to get such a large vote in these constituencies. So yes, Labour still won, but there were a lot of people that did vote Tory.
Tonight has become extremely complex. In 2015, the Tories were second here. They are again, but they have gained a huge 11% and are benefiting from UKIP falling 16%.
So what that means is a lot of people that had previously voted UKIP have gone Tory in an effort to keep Jeremy Corbyn out and to make sure that the Conservatives won.
The result is a 3.5 swing Labour to Conservative, the opposite of what the exit poll predicted.
So she did gain some Labour votes.
So these are, and that would be, I'm not sure, Sutherland Central, Swindon North, these are the changes here. So the exit polls, the UK exit poll projects Conservatives are the largest party but fall short of a majority, leaving a hung parliament. So we will just try to keep you guys
posted as best that we can. Horatio has promised to do a video. He is a very busy man. He works full time. I'm not sure when that is going to happen, but fingers crossed this weekend to kind of break it down. And obviously by then we'll have the results, but he can break it down obviously way better than we can. We may do a very poor British accent, but we also know even less about British politics. We are still learning.
Exactly.
Okay, we had tried to find Nigel, but I don't think that he's live anymore, and that's quite all right. We'll bring you more tomorrow. Obviously, we will have the actual results. So just go to bed tonight and pray for the United Kingdom.
You'll be fine.
And you know what? I really
it's
did.
Really not that big of a deal, you guys. Really.
I really did like Horatio's optimism there. He's like, listen, if this goes south, then UKIP is going to become more important, and it's possible. And this was reaching, but we might have Nigel as Prime Minister. Okay,
you guys don't even really like the Conservative Party.
Most you don't.
You're UKIP people.
Yes.
You actually agree a lot of times with some of the things on the Labour Party, even though you don't want to. You're against Saudi arming of things where, you know, our governments and the UK governments have been making some, you know, crazy views.
Well, you have a lot of neocons in the Conservative parties. They're all war happy. They're all trigger happy. They're ready to do whatever, go in, conquer, you know, regime change.
You know, I like that UKIP's coming up. I like that they're real people. I like that they're people on the streets. I like that they're not entrenched politicians. And so maybe this is going to shake things up. And I'm actually really excited for you guys.
Here's the thing. We don't want to ever settle for something, and it is possible, and you know I'm going to give you the godly answer on this, it is possible that it is not God's will for the Conservatives to take over here because they will just muddy the waters. And it's not the pure voice of the British people. So you never know. I say never give up hope one way or the other. I can imagine what it is like to be you guys over there right now. Heart palpitations. It was kind of like us.
You know what? You guys have a lot more power and control over
Yes.
your government than we do. You can get that petition with so many votes and have them at least debate something. We can't
Right.
do that. So
Right.
take the government back into your hands. Keep speaking out. You guys, Tommy Robinson, Britain First. Be a citizen.
Yeah.
Journalist. You guys run for office. I mean, if I was in a country the size of Ohio, I could get more stuff done.
This is a really good opportunity for me to get our UK viewers to pressure Horatio to run for office, because I had asked him, I said, why don't you run for office? And he's like, no, no, no,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Now then he did, I'm going to let out all of his dirty secrets. I read his messages to me. He did say that when he was young and carefree, he did try to run for some sort of small local office of sorts in a very small manner. Not really running for an office. I don't know the ins and outs of what he was trying to get into politics. Let's put it that way. I don't know exactly how.
Well, you have plenty of viewership here.
You have plenty of viewership if you have it. Just take advantage of it, man. Okay? I was like, seriously, we could do you some favors.
You've already got half our viewership is from the UK. You've already got like 3,000 or 4,000 people vote for you. How many more do you need?
Exactly.
Small country.
Yes.
To make this work.
Yes, we could make this work.
We'll get a phone into Nigel.
Yes, we will. We know Nigel, you stinker. Okay, so raise your hand and leave a comment if you would vote for Horatio. Even if you're not from the United Kingdom, we want to leave that in the comments. You can show him your support.
Level-headed chap.
Yes, he is. He's going to shoot me, but you don't have a gun over there, so no, you won't. All right. This is Lee and Michelle.
Well, we know that you can do dangerous things with
Yes.
claws and knives and machetes.
Exactly. Okay, this is Lee Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory. If it's the truth, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We love you. God loves you. God bless. Horatio, maybe next time when I ask you to give me a statement that I can read, you will do so that I don't read all messages out for everyone to see. All right, don't forget to meet us in Bozeman, Montana, June 23rd and 24th of this month. We're going to the Red Pill Expo, and we want to see you guys there. That is www.redpillexpo.com. .org. It's .org. Did I say .com last time?
Just, yep.
Whatever. Y'all find it.
Yep.
I was cold, all alone. No place for home. Every day, so afraid. But you called my name.